back. We're here with Star Wars.
We're here with Star Wars.
The Star Wars, the Star Wars.
Yep, the dank forces.
The darkest of forces.
I have something kind of fun. This just popped up today on my websites.
You own these websites?
My websites.
Do you own these websites? Tell me about these websites.
CBR, comicbookresources.com, posted an article today called Star Wars, all 7 lightsaber combat forms explained.
All what? 7?
7, yeah.
Does it have to be 7 every time?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The magic number.
It's like Dragon Balls.
So,
It is.
I will
In Harry Potter books.
I will describe the form.
Okay.
I'll use the description, and then you try and
Replicate
figure
it
out
and do it.
who.
Do it live.
Yeah, try
Fuck
to
it,
figure
I'll do it
out
live.
who is the practitioner of that form.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is not really. It's very basic. Form 1, also known as Shicho, is the oldest and most basic fighting style. It was developed. The ancient practitioners were still transitioning from using metal swords, so Form 1's moves are not as elegant as later forms. The Jedi who train in that form are taught to be unpredictable and random. And the focus is on pressing forward to disarm opponents with angular strikes. It's great for fighting large groups of foes due to its sweeping moves, and its simplicity leaves it vulnerable to other lightsaber users. So Form 2. Form 2, also known as Makashi, was developed to address the weaknesses of Form 1. As such, Form 2 techniques are much more elegant, and Makashi users engage in tight swordplay that make them formidable duelists. There's an emphasis placed on speed and precision, and the moves are similar to real-life fencing, with fighters advancing and retreating in a single line.
Form 2?
Form 2. Who does that sound like?
Obi-Wan and Kenobi.
Nope.
Luke?
No. Think of some key words I used here. Tight swordplay.
Oh, Dooku.
Yes. Fencing.
Oh, fencing, yeah. He has a fencing saber, yeah.
Dooku. Form 3, also known as Soresu, was the ultimate defense. It was created to address growing blaster
Totally
use.
Obi, right?
Like Form 2, Form 3 uses tight blade work, but breaks the rigid back and forth footwork to introduce dodging. It's all about moving the lightsaber and conserving energy to outlast an opponent or wait for them to make a fatal mistake.
Obi. That
That's
sounds like an
Obi.
Obi thing to
That
do.
is Obi. Yes.
He
Definitely.
totally is tactical like that. Like, I'll just let him rope a dope, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So the actual, it is like a rope a dope.
Very much.
Let you tire yourself out, sucker.
Form 4, also known as Ataru,
Ataru.
rose as a style to combat Soresu's offensive shortcomings. The aggressive form is the ideological opposite of its defensive predecessor.
Vader.
In combat revolves around extreme speed and powerful
Sheev.
swings. Practitioners are taught to constantly be on offense and to fuel their bodies with the force to augment their strength and attack aerially.
Sounds like Sheev. He flies. He did the corkscrew at those dudes. He's pretty quick.
I'm gonna say
Zip-zap.
Luke.
I think somebody else.
Dark side, light side.
Qui-Gon.
Extreme speed,
Extreme speed.
powerful swings, taught to constantly be on offense to fuel their bodies with the force to augment their strength and attack aerially.
Attack aerially. So like flying, leaping,
Yes.
jumping up and down.
Yes.
Is this
Ahsoka.
No.
is this in
Yeah,
like
so she
movies?
fights.
Yes.
In movies.
Yes.
Movies,
Okay.
Okay.
You're close.
Yoda.
With Darth Vader?
Yoda.
Yoda? Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
All right.
He's a flippin' dude.
Form 5 has 2 major disciplines, Xian and Gemso. Both were based on counterattacking. Xian revolves around returning blaster shots, while Gemso is centered on returning lightsaber attacks. Defend and then attack is Form 5's philosophy, a clear combination of Form 3 and Form 4. This style of combat requires the most physical strength, and some question using Form 5 because of its focus on controlling opponents. Gemso is all about overwhelming foes with brutal strikes.
You're gonna say beautiful.
That was.
That sounds
Beautifully
that sounds
brutal.
really like
Who does that sound like?
That sounds like
Anakin or
Anakin Vader.
It's Anakin. Yep. So this one doesn't give an example, but Form 6, also known as Niman, is a combination of the previous 5 forms into a general style that doesn't have noteworthy strengths or weaknesses. Jedi who were more diplomacy or study based use Form 6 as the blade work is relaxed and simple. Additionally, Niman incorporates dual blades, which became the gateway to Jar-Kai. To compensate for the simplicity, more serious practitioners were encouraged to be creative with their strategies and to include telekinesis as well as force pulls and pushes. So it's just a general form that's like a mishmash of a bunch. Now, Jar-Kai is not a formally recognized lightsaber form, as it simply denotes the practice of using 2 lightsabers.
What form is this? 6?
No, well, Jar-Kai is
5?
its own thing. Form 6 was the one we just did.
Okay.
Jar-Kai is its own thing. It's not a formally recognized lightsaber form. It just denotes that the practice of using 2 lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tricky technique as it requires good coordination to use 2 lightsabers, but the trade-off is worth it, as Jar-Kai masters are great at keeping up an offensive barrage. However, users can't block or attack with 2 hands, and fighters are over-reliant on 2 lightsabers. As a result, they are considerably weakened if they lose a lightsaber. Who's that?
That'd be
pretty easy.
Ahsoka.
Yep, Ahsoka. She uses 2 lightsabers. Now, final form. Form 7
Mm-hmm.
also had 2 variants, Juyo and Vapad.
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Yep. It's the deadliest lightsaber form, and as such invites the dark side. The Sith favor Juyo, which is one reason they were such powerful warriors. Juyo is an emotional form that invites users to channel their rage and malice into destroying their enemies. Unlike the controlled motions of the other forms, Juyo turns back to Form 1 by emphasizing chaotic, unpredictable movements that eschew the Jedi Order's graceful restraint. Mace Windu created Vapad as a way to channel his inner darkness into fighting for the light. Vapad users constantly use the Force to move at lightning speed. They channel their desire to win into new strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go.
Cool.
The 7 recognized forms and 1 unrecognized for lightsaber combat.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to turn it into a game until like right when I brought it up, but it worked.
There's a Star Wars game for you.
There it was. But I was just like, what are the odds of that? I'm about to go talk about Star Wars.
Which one would you use, Sean? Which one sounds like something that you would use? More defensive or like strength based?
Probably. What was the Obi-Wan's again?
The rope-a-dope.
Form
The
3 of the
rope-a-dope.
defensive.
Yeah. I just rope-a-dope people.
What was Luke? What did Luke use?
I don't know.
The first one. Let's do the first one.
Well, he learned from Obi-Wan.
He swings like a baseball bat, though, too.
He does.
Remember in Return? He was
well,
just like,
yeah. I would say he's probably just one of the general ones, right?
Yeah, he didn't really
Either
learn how to use it. He just learned how to deflect laser blasts.
either Form 1 or Form 6, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say Form 1.
Or maybe no.
What was the one that
I'd probably do a Form 5.
What would be the one that uses more like focusing on like the Force as like its innate feature and not just like your skill?
Well, Form 4,
Is that more
the one that Yoda uses.
the one where you flip around?
Yeah, see, practitioners are taught to constantly be on offense and to fuel their bodies with the Force to augment their strength and attack aerially. That seems to be the one you use the most.
That seems like
Force.
then the one Luke
Force
would use
powers.
because he was trained by Yoda and he's got the green lightsaber to boot.
But he doesn't jump in Flippy.
He flips in Dagobah. He flip.
Well,
Yoda
yeah,
teaches
jump,
him to flip everywhere.
run. It could be a
flipped-
backpack.
He's
Wow.
jumped around quite a
He's
bit.
jumped around. He on the sand barge. Oh yeah, he was flipping around.
Yeah, that's true.
He popped off that diving board and flipped up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
He's
true.
using the Force.
But it's such a bland version of it. It's not a full tilt Yoda version. Right?
No, he
He's
he
still
was
a
there for like
novice.
a week.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He didn't really have that much training. So.
Yeah. I'd say Luke is more that though.
Yeah. I'd probably go with a Form 5.
Maybe a hint of the Anakin style too, though.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going for. The
Which one would you? Which you do Form 5? If you were having
yeah.
one? Okay.
defend, and then attack. Combination of Form 3 and Form 4.
I think I'd do Vapod. For sure.
Vapod.
I think I have a lot of darkness.
Takes a lot out of you.
I have to channel that darkness.
Takes a lot of darkness. That'd take a lot out of you, though.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a lot.
my skirmishes would be like, all right, I'm busy.
Mace Windu
I can't be bothered anymore.
literally created a style in that form
I think
just to help get his dark side shit out.
and having it be Sam Jackson is amazing because that dude just explodes with like energy, right?
Yeah.
In normal like acting roles, he's like, motherfucker, and he like
Yeah.
gets really mad. So like having him so subdued as Mace,
Yeah.
from knowing him in other roles, you kind of realize that, oh yeah, this dude has an edge to him. Like he could explode any minute. Why is he a Jedi?
I think he kind of tricked himself though.
But it's so cool, like
Right?
that dichotomy, that truth of like him knowing him as like this outraged character, but then like
Right.
having him subdue all that anger inside him, like makes sense for
Because
Vapod because
it does.
he's suppressing it.
Because a lot of decisions he made end up kind of corrupting the Jedi Order, right? Like I
he was
think
blinded.
his battle with controlling the dark stuff within him forced him to be more into the what's the word I'm looking for? The more like
Delicate.
overly focused on the like what's the word I'm looking for? You use it with religions a lot. The
Zealot?
dogmatic stuff of Jedi,
Yeah.
which clouded his common sense and shit like that, and that led to what happened, right? Like he's not solely responsible, but like he played a pretty big part, right?
Yeah, he's too
He's
dangerous.
one of the leaders. He's one of the leaders of the council, right?
Yeah.
And Yoda is much more hands off.
He just gives good counsel.
Yeah,
That's what the
wisdom.
Jedi should do. They should
Yeah.
they should hold
Mace
counsel
Windu-
and not like make judgments.
Mace Windu is very pragmatic and active on the dogmatic sides of the Jedi, which I think is an overcompensation for him feeling like he has to keep the dark part of him at bay. Right?
I think he's always in check, which is always really good.
He's convinced himself he's in check.
He's trying to.
You know what I'm
keep
saying?
himself in
Because
check.
ultimately, because then when he goes to face Palpatine,
He lets it unleash.
yeah, he's like he has to kill him. He's like, I have to kill him.
Yep.
And
He's overcome.
Anakin's like, no, we should like arrest him and we should
You
do
should
it.
stand trial.
Yeah, and he's like, no.
Oh,
And then that's what ultimately gets him fucked.
I
right?
need him.
Yeah, that's what ultimately gets him fucked, right? He in that moment when everything's crumbling, and he realizes it was all for naught, and he just goes right to that base. I'm gonna kill him,
Mhm.
which is that darkness he'd been trying to hold at bay that entire time, and he realized it was futile because it fucked him anyway.
Yep.
And yeah,
There's depth.
Mace
There's
Windu.
Mace Windu.
Fucking played himself, dude. Played himself, which in turn played everybody. Thanks, Mace.
Yep.
You did it.
We'll be back in the next episode.
On the Star Wars special